Hello students, welcome back to our new lecture of the chapter Soil, which is included in Cbse curriculum currently. If you have a little bit in your ICSE or maybe you are in different boards, it will help you as well. So let's start with it. So your Shashwati ma'am is here and we are going to study about soil. We all have idea about what exactly soil is. Like this is no one in this world who don't know what exactly soil. The field, like the playground you play, like there is soil, and besides the roads there is also soil, and everywhere there is soil. If you think that no ma'am, my floor is made by marble or maybe it's absolutely made by cemented surface I have, or our school is also cemented surface, yeah, that is, but that is made on the soil, right? So the supporting part is actually the soil. So today we are going to learn about soil in detail, and we are going to learn what kind of soil we can see in this world. Okay. So this is the learning objective of this class. At the end of the lesson, what we can say or what we will know the definition of the soil as the earth material, like what exactly the soil is. We will know about it, and then identify and classify different types of soil, and then explain the properties of sand, clay, and slate. This kind of thing we will get to know at the end of this chapter. So let's start with soil, right? So here you can see that a person is holding a particular substance in his or her hand. We don't know or we can't identify the person is male or female. So right now we are taking it like he's actually or she is actually holding something in his or her hand, and that looks like something we already know, right? We can see this thing around us. So this is a particular kind of soil which here you can see like there is a little bit particles of we can see particles, and there is also a small roots of some plants, maybe because the plant is actually rooted into the soil, right? So that's where the roots are coming from. Okay. So let's get through this definition. It is a mixture of tiny rock particle, organic matter, water and air. So what exactly the soil is? Soil is actually a mixture of what? Tiny rocks, chota rock, next the organic matter, some kind of substances, like if some plant or animal die, that will release some organic substance like minerals or something, also some organic matter as well, that kind of substance, water and air. Like there is some pores in like there are some way some more pores in particular soil that differs a particular soil to another soil, but definitely there is pore. Some in some soil there is a lot, in some soil there is a little bit of it, and there is some kind of soil where it's like medium so type ka. So here is the thing, like rock particle, organic matter, water and air, the actual substances which will make a particular soil. It covers the earth surface and support the plant growth. We already know that plant root is actually rooted into some kind of substance which is actually a layer of earth surface, right? So that's what the soil is. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Here is a video of introduction to soil. So let's watch the video first and then we will learn about it in detail. Okay. So let's just go through this video first and then we will continue with our studies. Please be attentive in this video and look into it in very detail. There is a very good explanation about like what exactly the soil is, and you have a visualization, like a clear visualization of what exactly we are going to study in today's class. Okay, so let's start the video.
All the components that help us sustain life on Earth. Think so? It's simple. The food chain on the Earth begins with plants. Plants survive due to the availability of nutrients and water from the soil. That's the reason why soil is so important to all life forms. And not only this, but soil is also useful as a home for many living creatures. Soil is a home? Yes, it is. Soil helps many small creatures dwell in it. Apart from plant roots, it's home for several organisms. Right from the ants to the earthworms, there are so many organisms that spend most of their lives buried in the soil. Soil harvests not only plant roots, but also various animals. But if there are so many organisms living in soil, then won't they get harmed by each other's presence? And what about the rocks? We know that soil is also composed of rocks apart from minerals and nutrients. So where do the small creatures live amongst all these rocks? In order to understand how various organisms live in soil, we need to first understand the profile of the soil, which means we need to understand how the different layers make up the complete soil. So here we have a cross section of the different layers. How many layers can you spot in this cross sectional view? There are principally 5 layers as we can see here. Each layer has sub-layers as well. So now we focus on only these 5 major layers. Each layer is also termed as the horizon. So the topmost layer is called the O horizon. Next comes A horizon, which is followed by B horizon, then C horizon, and lastly the R horizon. Let us look at each layer and its significance in the upcoming video.
So that was introduction, a little bit of introduction about what exactly the soil is, and after that we are going to learn a lot of things about soil. So let's start with our theoretical lecture. First, we have already completed the introduction of soil video. Next, we will start with this. Soil, it provides nutrients and a place for plants to grow, which are essential for food production. Like we already know that the root of the plant is actually situated in or into the soil. So it provides nutrient and a place for plant to grow. Like they are growing, like they can't stand still if there is something which is not attached to their root, like something is holding that root, right? And that thing, what is, which is actually holding that thing is the soil. Okay, so that thing like the soil is actually help them to grow, to stand still, and then also provide nutrient. Like root is actually the one who collecting the nutrient for the plant for their growth. Like we already know that they are through the photosynthesis process, they are actually making their food in the leaves, but there is also water and nutrient, they are taking it from the soil through their roots. Okay, there is a lots of procedure like taking or taking sap or something like that, we will get to know about it in your higher class, but for now we will focus on this topic, soil. Different types of soil affect plant growth by how well they hold water and air. Now here is the thing that how a different kind of soil can affect. Like think about it, there is some kind of soil which is very much dense, और there is a like चिपचिपा टाइप का है, तो एक चीज है उसके साथ, like if there is root or something, then it will clog more water, and also the root is actually like pressed by that soil. Think about it, if some root is also pressing by that soil and also holding a lot of water because of its stickiness, so that root will rot na, because it will definitely like ये खराब होना ही होगा, क्योंकि वहां पे क्या है, वहां पे एयर पास नहीं कर पा रहा है. So this is one kind of thing that can happen to a plant if the soil is like that. But think about it, there is some kind of soil which actually don't have that much water holding capacity. So the soil is actually drying out. But that if we plant some plant on that spot and like on that soil, and also that soil can't retain the water, so if that plant need a lot more water than that actually present in that soil, then the plant will die as well. So there is different kind of soil, and there is also different kind of water conserving capacity and also water holding capacity as well as air holding capacity. So let's get to know about it. Here is a picture of a plant. You know, we already rooted it in the soil, and think about it. It's a real picture. We already planted and we made it for you. Okay. Next, different types of soil. We are getting into our main discussion for today. So first, there is a video. Okay. Do one thing. Just start with one or two types, and then we will watch the video. Okay. First one. Okay, just give me a second. Do one thing. Just watch this video first, and we will look into it.
Zara and Zen were both excited to grow a few plants on their terrace. For this, Zen had got a few pots. When it was time for planting the saplings, he noticed that Zara had bought a different kind of soil. It looked black in color. Zen was confused as to why would we need a different soil. Can't we plant the saplings with the same soil that he got from the beach? Zara explained that this soil will not allow his saplings to grow well. But he was insistent on using his own soil. A few weeks later, Zara's saplings started growing so well that a few even had flowers blossoming. Zen's plants, however, did not grow at all. He wished he listened to Zara's suggestions. But what was so wrong with this soil? Why did it not support a group of plants? Let's understand this by knowing the various types of soil. There are a few basic categories in which soil can be divided. Let's understand these first. Here you can find four different samples of soil collected from different areas. Apart from being present in different zones, these samples have a lot of difference in their properties as well. Let's find out why and how. If we zoom in, then the first thing we notice in this soil is that the soil particles are quite large. They are circular or precisely granular in appearance. This type of soil is called sandy soil. Sand, which appears on the beach? Yes, it's the same type we're referring to. If we pour some water in this, then the soil does not retain it. It immediately drains off all the water. The major reason for this is the size of particles and the space between them. The particles are very large and have a lot of space between them. That is the reason why sand cannot hold water or even minerals. Needless to say, this type of soil is unfit for growth of plants. Next on the list is this soil.
Let's just go through this sand kind of soil first. That's why I was actually want you to watch this video first, and then we will discuss it through that video as well as this slide. Here you can see exactly how in real life sand looks like. We already we must have seen like in coastal area, in the coastal beaches, or maybe there is some construction like construction going on in your area, or maybe your school building is built like someone is building a new house or something, anything, we need cement and sand, right? And that's exactly this sand soil is. Like that sand is actually sand soil. So the sand soil has large quartz particle that feel gritty to touch. Gritty means a rough texture. Okay. Sand is often used in construction for making concrete. We already like discussed about it. So this is what the sand soil is. Okay, next is clay soil. But before that, we are going to watch the video again.
Do you notice that the particles are too small and not at all like the sand particles? This soil type is called silt. Silt has particles smaller than sand and also less space between them. That's the reason why silt has the capacity to hold some water. The next category is the soil. The soil which has extremely fine particles in it. The soil grains are too tiny to be seen. Does that indicate that these will have particles which have almost very little space between them? Yes, and this clearly indicates that the soil is capable of holding a lot of water. Such a type of soil is called clay. Is this the same clay which we use to make articles by mold?
Let's just study about these two types, like the clay and slate first. Here is a slate, that is, slate soil has very fine particle that feels soft and powdery when dry. Like स्लीप सॉइल जो है वो एक्चुअली क्या है, अगर ये ड्राई हो जाए तो दिस फील्स रियली रियली सॉफ्ट एंड पाउडरी, लाइक द पार्टिकल्स आर एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, दैट्स व्हाई दे आर पाउडरी. And the slate soil drains more slowly than the sand but faster than the clay. Here is a thing, that slate soil drains more slowly. That means sand is actually drying out very fast, right? They are not retaining water, but here slate are a little bit slower than the sand. They are retaining a little bit of water but faster than clay. That means clay actually holding a lot of water, right? But slate is not holding that much of water, so making it good for plant that needs steady moisture. Like there is some kind of plant you can see that need a steady moisture, like जो मॉइस्चर है वो ऑलवेज थोड़ा 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 रहेगा, मतलब पूरा ड्राई आउट नहीं हो जाएगा. If we want this kind of soil or this kind of plant production or that kind of in agricultural field we want to plant that kind of plant, we need this slate kind of soil. Okay, and before that we have the clay soil. Here you can see, okay, here is the photo of that slate soil. You can see here, like if it dry out it will be like a very powdery substance. Here is the clay. You can already see that there is a lot of chipa type ka soil is here. So it made up a very fine particle, make it smooth and sticky when wet. So this is the sticky soil. Okay, when dry and clay soil becomes hard and compact and making it difficult for plant root to grow. Now here is the thing, that this soil is actually very smooth and very fine particle, but when it get wet that will एक के साथ दूसरा चिपक जाएगा, and इतना जोर से चिपक जाता है कि लाइक इसके थ्रू, मतलब अगर ये सॉइल सरफेस है इसके नीचे ये जो प्लांट का रूट है ये जाना मुमकिन ही नहीं होता है. व्हाई? बिकॉज दिस इज अ वेरी कॉम्पैक्ट स्ट्रक्चर एंड दिस प्लांट रूट और एनी प्लांट रूट कैन इन्वेड through this soil. Okay, so let's go back to our video, but before that we will just learn about this soil as well. This is the photo or real image of loam soil. It is a balanced mixture of sand, sleet and clay. This is a very important question for your examination, that what exactly the soil called, which is the perfect mixture or perfect mixture for sand, sleet and clay, like the perfect for any kind of plant. Your answer will be loam soil, making it ideal for most of the plant. It drains well while retaining enough moisture and nutrient for healthy plant growth. That will do what? It will take enough moisture for the plant growth, but it won't retain much of the water, so that the plant won't die, maybe not die or dry. Okay, you can get the factor like die or dry. Get that thing? So this is the perfect soil we need for planting any kind of plant, okay, or saplings. So let's go through this or in this video, okay.
Cement? Absolutely. It's useful in making several articles like earthenware. However, the same quality of holding a lot of water is unfavorable for farmers. Clay cannot be used in agriculture. Since it retains a lot of water, there is a possibility that roots of some plants get spoiled easily. Hence, clay can be good to a potter, but it's pretty much useless to a farmer. Now let's have a look at the last type. What kind of soil is this? It appears blackish in color, and at the same time, the texture is completely different. The soil has both larger and smaller particles present in it. This type is called the loamy soil. Not only the different particles, but the soil has humus as well. Yes, the organic matter formed from the dead decaying animal or plant body is called humus. So, is it due to the presence of humus that this soil is black in color? Absolutely. And it even has a lot of mineral and nutrient content. If we pour water in this sample, then it will hold some amount of water, draining the excess. Don't you think this will be of pretty good use in agriculture? Of course, yes. Loamy is the ideal soil for agriculture. It is a storehouse of several nutrients and at the same time has a capacity to hold water in the required amount. This was all about the various types of soil in general. Now we know why Zara's plants grew well and Zen's did not. Zara used loamy soil, while Zen, who got the soil from a beach, was using sandy soil. So the next time when you want to grow some plants, keep these points in mind.
So this is a different kind of soil we have already studied, and then we are going to study another topic, that is soil profile, okay. So we have already learned what exactly the soil is and what different kind of soil we can see around us, and what kind of soil is exactly good for our plant or agriculture, and also what kind of soil is not, definitely not good for planting a particular saplings or something like that. Okay, so let's just go through the soil profile first, and then we will watch some more video. But here is again a video, but before that we will start the topic today. So what is soil? Let's just have a recap. That is, soil is a loose material that covers much of the earth's surface, and it made up of tiny pieces of rock, dead plant, animal, water and air. It is important because plants grow in it, animals live in it, and also people use it to build homes and grow. There is nothing you don't know, but this is just a recap. Okay, I guess you are not getting bored, and I think let's just go through it again. Here is the video about this soil profile thing, but before that we will go through some properties of soil before starting this soil profile. Okay, so let's go through the property video. There is free video, and that is absolute detailed explanation about soil. Okay, so let's just go through it and just visualize the fact, and then you will I think visualization is a base key. Okay, so just go through it. Okay, this is the first video. Let's go through it.
We have taken a look at the soil profile and even at the different types of soil. Now let's discuss a few interesting properties of soil in general. For studying, we take into consideration three major properties, which is absorption of water by the soil, percolation of water in it, and the moisture content of the soil. To begin with, let's discuss the property of water absorption. Let's take an example to understand this. If there is water on the surface and you place a sponge on it, what happens? The water disappears. And where exactly exactly does the water go? The water gets absorbed by the sponge. That means the sponge allows the water to get inside it and remain between its particles. That is what we literally mean by absorption of water. So, does a similar activity occur when water is added to soil? Yes, soil is also capable of absorbing water. However, the amount of water absorbed differs from one type to the other. Why is there such a difference? We know the reason. The space between the soil particles is different in each type. If I take sandy soil, then the space between the particles of this sample is very large. Similarly, if I take clay, then there is very little space between its particles. These facts give us an idea that the sandy soil cannot hold a lot of water. Very less amount of water is taken up by this type of soil because most of it is drained off. Exactly opposite is the case of clay. Since the particles are too small, they allow water molecules to get in and remain in the space between them. That is the reason why clay absorbs water and retains it for a longer time. That's how we find different types of soil absorbing water in different amounts. So, is there a way to calculate the absorption of water by the soil? Of course, yes. Let us first gather the assembly for this. We take a beaker and a filter paper. Next, we take a measuring cylinder and most importantly, a soil sample and water. Now let's arrange the setup.
Just do one thing at your home. This is absolutely like a very small or very easy experiment. All you have to do is having some bigger kind of jar because this is also measured the thing. But
Of
yes,
water and retains it. Of course, yes, this. We take a beaker. Next, we take
here is the thing, you can take a beaker and a filter paper as well, or you can do it in your school laboratory as well. Please
a measuring cylinder.
measuring cylinder because this is something may or may not have in your home, but definitely you can get that in your school lab. Okay, so just try it
And
from
most
one
importantly,
hand.
a soil sample
In
and
the
water.
comment section that what exactly the result you got from this experiment. Okay, just let me know in the comment section that you did this experiment and what exactly the result or what kind of observation you get from this experiment. For now we will visualize this through this video, animated video, but I want you to perform it and let me know. Okay, please let me know in the comment section.
Now let's arrange the setup. We take 200 grams of soil sample in the filter paper and place it like this. Now we place a beaker below this setup. For a start, we take 100 milliliters of water in the measuring cylinder. We start pouring the water very slowly and carefully from the top of the soil sample. When do we stop pouring the water? The moment we see the first drop of water dripping from the soil sample, we stop adding more water from the top. So here, we need to observe the dripping of water from the soil sample very carefully. Now when we observe the first drop of water dripping from this soil sample, we stop pouring more water. We keep the measuring cylinder aside and note down how much water is remaining in it. Can you tell me how much water is remaining in the measuring cylinder now? We find 70 milliliters of water remaining. Based on this, can we calculate how much water is absorbed? Yes, logically, it will be the amount of water added till the water starts draining from the soil. We know that the amount of water taken initially was 100 milliliters. And the amount of water remaining in the measuring cylinder now is 70 milliliters. That means in this case, we get 70 subtracted from 100, that is 30 milliliters. So this soil sample has absorbed 30 milliliters of water. And what if I want to calculate the percentage of water absorbed? There's a simple formula for it. The simple formula is amount of water absorbed divided by the weight of the soil taken times 100. So here we get 30 over 200 times 100, which gives us 15%. We can say that the soil absorbed around 15% of the water that was added. This was about the absorption of water by the soil. Now have a look at the next.
So let's go through this next video as well.
When we add water to the soil, it gets absorbed. This is what we have learned in detail in the previous video. However, absorption of water is different in different types of soils. Now tell me one thing, have you ever noticed that water when added to soil on the ground disappears immediately? Yes, it does. And we know it's due to the absorption of water by the soil. But what happens when there is excess of water added to the soil? Is it still absorbed? Well, yes it is. Imagine it rains heavily. After it stops raining, all the water on the ground disappears. We know that it's absorbed by the soil. But so much water? How is it even possible? It is possible because water seeps into the deeper layers. This is called the percolation of water in the ground. That means whenever water is poured on the surface of the ground, it percolates and reaches the lower layers. This percolation activity helps refill the underground water reservoirs. Is percolation same in all types of soil? Of course not. Then how do we get to know how much water has percolated in a particular type of soil? To understand this, let's take a long pipe and insert it a bit deep into the ground. If water is added to the soil through this pipe, then it gradually percolates. Now all we need to do is calculate the rate of percolation based on how much water was added and how much time did the water take to percolate completely. So let us say we added 200 milliliters of water and it took almost 40 minutes for all that water to percolate. Wait, how do we come to know that water has percolated? It's simple. When all the water disappears, then we know that the water has completely percolated. So now, if 200 milliliters of water has taken 40 minutes to percolate, then the rate of percolation can be calculated as the amount of water added divided by the time taken by percolation. This gives us 200 over 40, which is 5. So the rate of percolation is 5 milliliters per minute. This is how we calculate the percolation rate.
So this is how we can calculate the percolation rate. Next, we are going to see another properties of soil. Then we will get back to our normal theoretical lecture. Okay.
Have a look at this piece of land. Do you think this soil contains at least a little amount of moisture? You might say no, but the fact is that it does contain some. Can you see that the air above the surface is shivering? Do you know why? It's because the moisture from the soil is lost due to excessive heat. So does that indicate that this soil also contains moisture? Yes, it does. That is the reason why the air above it is seen shimmering. The moisture content varies from one soil sample to the other. Different soil types contain different amounts of moisture. So if we are given a soil sample and are asked to find the moisture content in it, then how are we supposed to do that? A simple experiment can help us analyze that. All we need is a test tube with a soil sample, a gas burner, and a test tube stand. This is how we will arrange the setup. When the soil sample is heated for a very long time, then we find some droplets at the edge of the test tube.
Here is a precaution you need to take. That is, please do not do this experiment without the supervision of your teacher or maybe some elder one. Not like any senior or something from your school. Rather, they are also a kid, right? Because you guys are actually in 4 and 5. So please do this in presence of your teacher, and this fire or something, please stay away from this. So I better ask you to do this experiment in presence of or your teacher, or maybe you just ask your teacher to show it to you, rather not doing it by your own. Please do it when you will be old enough. Okay, so this is the disclaimer I have to give you. Next, we will complete this video. Okay.
This is because when extremely hot steam comes in contact with the cooler surface of the test tube, it condenses. The condensation gives rise to formation of drops on the inner surface of the glass. This tells us that the soil sample had moisture in it, although it appears like dry powder. Similarly, many soil samples can be analyzed for the presence of moisture. More the drops collected, more is the moisture content. With this, we come to the end of properties of soil. We have learned absorption of water, percolation of water, and the moisture content in the soil.
So we have learned different properties of soil. Next, we are going to just go through this, already done with this, and now we are going to watch that soil profile video. Okay. After that, we will just start with what is soil horizon. Just have a brief introduction. That is, what is exactly the soil horizon, or what are soil horizon? Soil horizons are different layers in the soil profile. There is different layers in our soil. Like the last video, like last to last, or some, like when we started our class, there is some kind of thing that says ki there is O horizon, A horizon. But that time you don't know what exactly ma'am is showing, right? But now we will get to understand what exactly we are showing that time. Different layers in the soil profile. When you dig into the ground, you can see these layers. When you dig your ground for planting a saplings, right, you can feel like the first texture is different, but when you are digging more and more, the texture is getting different. Okay. So more likely the moisture content is at the lower part, like the more deeper part is more than that of the upper part. Okay. So each one looks and feels different because it has different material. The layers are stuck on the top of each other. Like एक ऐसा है, उसके ऊपर ऐसा, then this one, like that they are stacking at each other, like more like a flat, then another flat, then another flat, like that. If you were talking about your school building or your home as well, you can say that the first floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, like that. That is, there is some layers in the sand as well, or soil as well. So let's just go through this, and then we will start different soil horizon. But before that, we will go through this soil profile video first. Okay. Let's watch this video, and then we will have a visualization of proper knowledge about it. You can say complete knowledge.
In the previous video, we looked at the soil profile and the various layers present in it. Does the cross-sectional view of the soil layers look somewhat like this? Yes, it does. Let us look at each layer.
Here you can see that in this video you can see that we have already there is a layer, the picture of layers, like 5 layers of soil they said, and the first one is O horizon, the uppermost layer, and then A horizon, then B horizon, C horizon, and R horizon. And the way you are getting deeper into the soil, you can see from the B horizon there is a little bit of rock particle you can see. And after that, in C horizon, the rock particle, the consistency of rock particle increases, and in R horizon there is a lots of rock particles, right? So let's go through this and learn about it.
That is each horizon in detail in this video. The first layer is the O horizon. Why does the series begin with O? Well, here O literally means organic. So this layer is basically composed of organic matter. The presence of humus makes this layer appear very dark in color. What is humus, you might ask? Humus is the organic matter formed from dead and decomposed animal bodies or plant parts. The presence of organic matter.
Here you can ask like how this organic matter is actually coming into the soil. think about it, there is a lots of plant around us, they are dying, as well as there is some kind of animal as well, there is some insect, everything which are like living beings are dying. And that thing is actually like, if this is a soil surface, then they are actually dying on the ground, and then that thing will mix, like we are not talking about humans or something, but there is some kind of plant, or think about the small creatures, okay, that is actually dying on the soil, and then they are dead, and then decompose this animal and plant body into this surface. Think about it, if something or some living organism is dying on that surface, they are not incorporating by themselves into deeper into the soil, right? They're actually on the surface layer. So in that particular surface layer, there is that dead and decaying decomposed matter is actually staying on that surface layer, okay? So that's why the humus is actually present on the surface, and that's also for that this color of that particular soil on the upper portion of a particular soil existence is the color is actually way more deeper than the deeper one, okay? So there is the organic thing, we already discussed the humus. Just go through this video
Makes
again.
this layer rich in nutrients and also dark in appearance. After the O horizon, the next layer is the A horizon. That is this part. This layer is also referred to as topsoil, but it's not at the top. Then why do we name it so? It's because the layer is actually the first layer of soil, though the O horizon occupies some part at the top. That is the reason why it's called the A horizon. This layer generally consists of humus and several minerals. That is why plant roots grow well in this layer. Not only this, but also organisms like little worms and even a few types of rodents can.
Just think about it, we already talked about that. Here we can see humus, right? But here we can see humus and mineral, like two kind of thing. Like humus is already there, already present there, which is helping to supply the nutrient or growth of the plant, and also there is mineral, which is an extra product, which is also helping the plant to grow. So there is two things here, one thing here to think about it. If you are some person who is getting two of your favorite food, and somewhere you are getting one of your favorite food, where you will like to go. Just like that, plants like to grow in this part or grow well in this particular part. Which part? The topsoil part or A horizon. Okay?
Layer. It is this layer which is a home for many organisms. Next in the list is the B horizon. This layer is also called the subsoil. Sub here refers to below. That means the layer present below the topsoil. This layer has a reddish tone. It is mainly due to the presence of many minerals. The B horizon consists of several minerals embedded in it. Amongst all, iron oxide is found in very large quantities. That is the major reason for the B horizon to appear reddish brown in color. However, this region is very much different.
Okay, here is a particular thing which can your examiner can question you, that why this B horizon is reddish in color. So the answer will be the presence of iron oxide make that particular soil reddish in color. Okay, the abundance of that iron oxide, there is a lots of mineral present in lots of amount, abundant amount, but iron oxide is absolutely like excessive. Okay, so that's why this particular subsoil or that B horizon is reddish in color. Okay, so let's continue.
From the layers above and below it. In spite of presence of minerals and clay in this layer, the layer is very compact and hard. Only a few large trees have their roots growing in this region. What comes after the B region? Yes, it's the C horizon. Can you notice the presence of these cracked rocks? Is this indicating that this region consists of only rocks? Well, not rocks exactly, but this region has weathered buried rocks. What are weathered parent rocks? We know what weathering is. It's simply the process by which huge rocks break down into smaller pieces. This further gives rise to the formation of soil. Now, if there is soil above and if these rocks appear weathered, then does that mean that these rocks are responsible for the soil formation? Well, yes. This sea horizon has weathered parent rocks, which means the rocks that are cracked and which will crack further for the formation of soil. So if these rocks are weathered, then where are the huge unweathered rocks? Well, the unweathered rocks are located below this layer, that is in the last horizon.
Here comes the most interesting part about the soil. Here is a layer which have some crack rocks which is actually help in making that particular soil, like the layers which is present above this particular structure or particular layer. Okay, like this one as well as this one. Like they are some cracked rocks. Okay. After that we can find a like whole rock, like a solid rock substance we can find, which is till now didn't crack. Okay, so after that we will find the crack rock, and after that we will find some kind of soil which have some little bit of rock substances, but after that we won't find any rock, like soil already formed, and after that the humus mixed soil. Okay, so this is the 5 layers. Here we can see only the solid rock. Okay, so where are we? We are here.
Rocks? Well, the unweathered rocks are located below this layer, that is in the last horizon. The layer is called R horizon, which means the bedrock. The R horizon consists of only huge unweathered rocks. These, when cracked due to any reason, give rise to the formation of the layer above. This layer is very hard and is extremely difficult to dig through with the generally used digging instruments like the axe or a hoe. So, this is about the soil profile, the vertical section through which various soil layers can be seen. Now let us move ahead and talk about the various types of soil in the upcoming videos.
We have already studied about these various types of soil, like in our first part of our lecture. So this is all about the soil horizon, and there is a little bit of detailed explanation about it, and also there is some kind of soil erosion, deforestation kind of topic in your syllabus, but we will continue it in detail in our next lecture or lecture 2. Till then, stay tuned and please let me know if you do want to do this kind of experiment, or just want to have some knowledge about the soil around you, and just identify, just get out of your house or school, and if you see any kind of soil, just identify that what kind of soil it is, and let me know in the comment section that what kind of soil you found beside your home or beside your school, or maybe the roads beside you, the roads. Okay, so till then, please take care of yourself, study well, and for now just go through this video as well as our another lectures as well. Study in a proper way, and I think you will rock it in your exam. So till then, bye bye.